Oh, good morning, guys. We've got a mess on our hands, and I mean a mess. These two ain't too bad. We were actually in, the two quads aren't too bad. They've been, well, I spoke too soon. They're pretty bad. Look at the shop. Look at the shop. So it's starting to freeze now, and we've been ripping what we have for dry-ish ground. Jordan was in the real ugly muck yesterday. He's really mudded up. We've got to do some picking and digging on him before he can go out, but we're parking these in the shop now because it's 18 degrees outside and the ground's freezing and this freezes, and if this freezes, your track will literally maybe not even turn because of all the friction of frozen mud. So we got to pick this out a little bit today so we don't ruin any rubber components, and then go out and hopefully float on a little bit of frost today. Let's hope. And let me promise you, you guys have not lived until you have experienced this. So here's your fancy hook. This is the first thing you go and get. It's really gooey. Really gooey. Fun. Okay, come on. It's more of a two-hand operation than a one-hand. But I know you want to experience this with me so bad. Are you helping, or are you still on the...
I shouldn't be.
You want to tell them your new age hindering injury?
Cracked rib.
You want to tell them how you cracked your rib?
Well, there was a tire that was flat, and I was trying to shove the tire plug into the truck tire, and well, I got a little aggressive, and
you were using your body.
Can't do that no more, evidently.
Literally breaks his rib pushing a
Cracked it.
Pushing a tire plug in. Does it hurt?
It's very tender, and pulling on this scraper thing is not maybe the best idea.
Oh, look at where'd that custom one come from?
I know a guy. Oh, is this worth it? Why?
No, I just get the friction rubbing, like stuff like this, off of there and around the bogey wheels, which we are missing 1, 2. Oh, we lost another rubber yesterday. There's two back there.
2 gone on the inside.
2, 4, 6 of them. We lost at least 6 times $700. John Deere.
We're gonna have to do some talking this winter, because maybe
I've never lost one off a case ever.
Maybe the red one can pull a green planter. If anybody knows how hard it is to pull a green planter with a red tractor, let me know. We used to do it years ago. It wasn't good. But now, if this is the way, that can't even be right. Why?
Chris, it can't even be right, he says.
What's that?
That the bogey wheels leave the chat every year. Hey, Jordan.
You should have heard the one that was coming apart last night on the way home. It sounded like it blew a hole in the side of the block.
You were still giving her at midnight, huh?
Yeah. Can we go to steel tracks? Would that help?
Well, I feel like dog poop, but I gotta go out and locate, do the GPS stuff on some new fields. Mark inlets, auto track lines, and create a boundary around each field. I have a sore throat. The farm rig here with these wheels on it, the doors are a little lower, so I couldn't get out. And so I just took my side loading ramp off. Yeah, what the heck, Larsons are making me use my truck and trailer. Unbelievable. And it is freezing out today, very cold, and my body's already naturally cold because of the disease in it. But don't know why. Went to bed pretty much fine last night, and then woke up. It's like, yep, harvest is over. The adrenaline rush has crashed, and the disease is back.
Woo, that's brisk. Time to move out. Relocating? Oh, last but not least, the big boy. We'll see how this goes. The two quads aren't terribly mudded up. Like, they're bad, but not rubbing friction. So we're just gonna send it, because we know we're going into it again. Battle will continue. We will win. Just a matter of how much stuff breaks on the way to getting to the win. Well, I see the watering hole is busy again. Fueling up. I've got to tighten the shank. It's coming loose and walking on the frame, and I'm going to unfold it over the grass here so a bunch of mud don't fall off on the gravel. Even though we did just destroy the shop, but you know, whatever. Hopefully it don't ruin the lawn here. Squash down big trenches. Okay, the slowest folding tool in the world. Don't be fooled by the discs. They go quick, but then the wings are pathetically slow. Then I didn't back up far enough and dropped it on the gravel anyways. Nice. The grass is so crunchy, Brody.
What happens when it freezes? Now our footprints are gonna be out here. Doug says never walk on grass when it's froze.
Well, I think you'll appreciate me not unfolding this on the gravel.
Is it this one?
Yeah, as you can see the gap.
Oh my!
She's really become loose. It was walking on here yesterday, but I did not have the tools to work on it, so I just
this with you.
watched it to make sure that it didn't fall off. We gotta loosen a tad, it looks like. We bound it.
Yeah!
I don't like this problem. See, something's not right because now the gap's on the front side. It's like the holes are being reamed out and ruination of the machine is occurring.
You know what? Just send it.
Just send it.
Call me when it falls off.
You come with the service truck, just drag it out of the field.
Drag it out.
You know, I'm about as thrilled about what I get to go do today.
That's what?
Is it? I don't know what to even describe it to. There's just nothing that really compares to smearing through the mud and plugging
It's
everything
froze.
up. Let's
I
hope.
know what I'm not doing today. I'm not blowing off today because it's too cold out.
Oh, and yesterday was.
Well,
He blew big wheels off yesterday, and it was like a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, you gotta pick your days because when it's windy, it works really good. Today, calm. It ain't gonna work.
But it was cold yesterday in that wind.
Not as cold as this.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But I got
the Geringhoff bit you.
Oh yeah, right here is where it hit me.
You had a glove on and it left marks that bad?
This glove. It's deep.
Oh, what did you do? You put your fingers where you shouldn't have them?
No, it just, I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened, but I'm bleeding.
You don't feel?
No, me and Chris filled up last night, so I'm ready to leave, I think. Looks like everyone's lined up, ready to go. 5200, Chris is ready. I am ready once I hold for 10 minutes. I don't want this with.
You better take it with.
Okay, I'll take it with. Okay, thank you, Brody.
Alright, I'm out mapping. So, the way I start, first thing I drive the edge of the field, offset a boundary off to my right in this case, and then I am also creating an adaptive curve line as I drive. Not sure if that'll be much use. We haven't had a whole lot of luck with them. I'm never in a tractor that uses it, like the planter, so I don't know why it doesn't work, but they've just told me, Chad, Doug, and Brody and whatnot, that it don't work. But I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks awfully jittery. The blue line is my adaptive curve, the pink line is the boundary. And I have gone around 3/4 of the field. So then after I do the boundary, then you gotta start creating straight track lines. Well, we farm the field south of this, so I'll pull a line off of that field for our south headland on this new field. That way they're exactly parallel. But this farm is planted north and south. And I believe this east line is very straight, so I'm thinking we'll plant off of that for the main rows. There's one little Sioux that'll have to get swerved around, but that's not too bad. Then I gotta go over on that side of the road and do that, and over there. then go down like 20 minutes that way. It's a good thing I packed food. Got the boundary done. Now we're doing flags. And I have to try to get the T-posts out. Thankfully, it's rained a lot, and so it's muddy. The soil is soft. I was able to get this one out, no trouble. Put a new flag down, and then I drive over it so that my globe is right above the inlet. And then I mark it in the 2630 that there's an inlet there. And then that's all the work I need to do in the field with the inlet. The rest of the work I do on the computer. I'm sure it's windy. I'm gonna do this, it's cold. Here we go. 2 flags mapped. I wouldn't ever rub up against the tile flag like that. That would hurt. Didn't even have to run it over. On to the next. Isn't this exciting? To do this many more times. Our next victim. You know, I think we could just sew a flag back on there. We've tried gluing. It don't work to glue. We can maybe sew. That's a good little flag stick still. Just needs flag on the top.
Well, we have arrived to our first victim. Last time we had to do this in 21, this field was just horrible, so that's why we've waited for this frost on it. And I've heard...
Seemed like it was flexing my blades an awful lot, so I raised my blades. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, if it's that frosty, keep them in the air. We'll break the shanks off or overdo the bearings. I've heard it's crispy, so hopefully we float instead of sink. These front blades we have to run in the air if it's frosty because they get torqued.
Join us! Join us! Yeah, I did about 3 rounds on the far west side yesterday, and it was not ideal.
Well, let's see if frost makes miracles happen. Set, okay, auto steer ready, auto steering, diff lock engaged. You don't even question that. She's grunting. Well, so far so good. The frost is not. Let's see what the front blades look like. See what Chris is seeing. Right here, it's not working too badly. It's generally in the wettest parts of the field where the frost sets in the deepest first. So, we will see. Also, these C-shanks on them blades are a lot stiffer, stronger than what's on those deers. I will keep an eye on that. She's pulling here. So with frost ripping, there's 2 different things that'll shut you down. Number 1, with this big tool, I mean, it pulls this tractor for about all it wants. So if you don't have traction, you aren't able to put it in the ground. So if the frost gets too slippery or hard where the lugs don't bite in, like they're biting in right now, we're spinning out. Raise. Oh, yeah, that's greasy. But if the frost gets too hard where the lugs will not bite in at all, you'll just spin out on the frost and that'll shut me down. And if the frost also gets too thick, you'll just destroy your rippers. So you can make it work. We're not that far into the freezing conditions. This was the first night at 18 degrees, so a couple more nights of that, could be over, so we're gonna keep sending it. Okay, this is no longer working. The sun came out for just, I don't know, an hour, and I think we've lost all our frost. Look at the pluggages. And then there's nowhere dry to even drive to get the wheels to start spinning. I'm out, I gotta go to a different field, and I'm thinking we all should leave. So it's not rutted up because we targeted this field before that last 2 inches of rain. So you're going along and you don't even know when it's gonna happen, and then pretty soon you're spinning and digging and thinking you're gonna get stuck, and then starts plugging, and then you can barely make it out of the wetness. So I think I'm pulling the boys. We're going somewhere else. This is ridiculous. This is just disgusting. It was working with the frost, but now I think it's starting to come out because one night of 19 degree it gave us a crust that we could grab on, but now it easily leaves when the sun gets on it. And we are not doing a good job at all. This is this field. It's one of the fields Dad and Randy owns, and spun out. We're to a stop again. And I think we should pattern tile the whole thing because she's wet. It's wet. And we're not far from the farm. Like the farm, I don't know if you can see the silhouette over there. It's a mile away. North of that highway, man, it is ugly conditions. This is pathetically sick. Sick! Look at the trenches. I think this is a sign from God. Right here's the approach right at the end of my pass. I'm out. See ya. Bye-bye, this field. Folding. Why aren't you folding? Oh, I put it in float, that's why. The boys seen me folding up. They both headed to the headlands and are behind me. No need to tell them twice. Wow. Conditions are poor. The guy to the north here is trying to work too. I think he is pulled out also. And I think this is going to be better. Are you kidding me? The main passes are, but just like harvest, still water on the headlands. Oh my. I'm not going to that one. That's later this afternoon when the frost is really gone, I suppose. We're gonna start on a quarter up here. Jordan was up here yesterday. Me and Chris were on a different field that was actually really, really nice. There they go. As I unfold. This is a bean field and it was dry here, so we were loading trucks, well, actually on the road, but they were driving through the bean field. And they drove in the same exact spot because, what's your guys' opinion? Pack down one spot completely like a highway or drive all over the field and pack it down? I vote on just one spot and have no beans grow the next year or corn rather than a big flat area. So this is touching the cornfield, so we carted out all of our grain on this little path here that they were ripping. And this is how hard it is. It might be froze too. I don't know what's going on. Diff lock. Let's try. Let's go. Oh, gotta raise. Let's get some momentum going. Try lowering. Oh, she's digging. She's just digging. Oh, my unit is too big and wide to make this work. I'll just drag the teeth. Scrape just a little dirt. It's kind of bouncy in here. Good luck next year's crop. I don't think you're gonna grow here. Alright, this spot's okay for the time being anyways. So Jordan was up here most of the day. I think he was here till like midnight and he got like 85 acres done out of this quarter. He's out here. He at least can pull it through the mud. It's just such a small unit. It does like 10 acres an hour only. Well, as of right now, we finished up that field. Obviously, it's been quite a few hours. It was just back and forth, same old thing in the mud, nothing broke, so I didn't have anything to film besides more mud holes. Anyways, we're gonna wait till frost in the morning, I believe, so we can maybe float on that field. The last fields we have, we definitely have to wait for frost, like we ain't gonna be able to spin through it. We're gonna shut down night fuel up and have a early Saturday night, I hope. So this quad track here was on the 5200, and actually one of the co-ops around here called us and asked, I guess they have a lot of anhydrous to put on, so they asked us if we would rent out a quad track, so that's where that one's gonna go on Monday, I guess. Maybe make a little bit of side money with her, as long as nothing breaks. That's, you know how renting equipment goes.
Morning everyone, it's Saturday. Had to do a little office work this morning and now we're out, so it's actually not really the morning for much longer. But I got a nice load on this here Kodiak. Grapple, dirt bucket, and the brush mower for the Bobcat, and then I'm still mapping out here. Almost didn't fit. there wasn't really any way to secure anything, so that's why there was just one strap on the back, because as long as it don't go off the back, nothing else should. In theory. Not telling you guys to do that. And Brody picked up some more tile flags, because we are pulling the T-posts out and putting our flags on it, just to make it a little simpler to drive over the inlets instead of having to go around them with everything. So that'll be nice. I didn't film it, but each T-post had like a little white jug on it, marking it and whatnot, and inside those jugs was a lot of mice. So the mouse population went down a little bit out here yesterday. But yes, the reason I brought the grapple, got sidetracked. I believe right out there, I have to look at an old Google image. There used to be a shed. That shed from the storms a year and a half ago that did all the damage in the area blew out that direction. Kind of a southwest wind took it that way. Ooh, that's a nice Corvette behind a real old decent pickup. Shed parts all over in the grass and some on the edge of the field, so grapples here to clean that up so we can try to farm what the edge of the field is supposed to be there, which won't take too long. And then there's some tree branches and stuff I want to move around the edges of the field that are laying down, so we don't have to farm around anything like that either. So just going to clean it up a little bit, and then I want to mow. There's some weeds or brome grass from this spring, like we had to plant around stuff because it was just too wet in the low areas, and when there's no crop, you'd have to spray it every 2 weeks to try to keep any grass from growing, and you can't get to it because your crop gets too tall. So like in a lot of our other fields, we have to mow that brome grass now that the crop's out of the way. So that's why the mower's here. Dirt bucket, well, there was room for it, so I brought the dirt bucket in case I need it. But I'm gonna go do some cleaning first as soon as I unload this thing. Wonder if it'll stay on. I didn't even need a strap. Huh. Parking brake is all you should rely on in life. Good to know. Quite the pile made. That is most of what used to be a shed. I really enjoy that grapple. I was satisfied with my cleanup job, and then Doug showed up, and now he's gonna get in the Bobcat and do a better job. I tried. Just give me crap, Doug. I'm gonna go and do some mapping. He's gonna finish this. But this is the old edge of the field. This all had junk in it, so I'm nervous to farm it because of the nails. But it is the field, so we can try. Hopefully the nails will disintegrate and the dirt rust away as quick as possible. Glad I got the wheels on this side-by-side too. You don't have to worry at all about it. And the tracks on the Bobcat. Anytime you can get rid of the tires with air, puts your mind at ease. Well, let's go map this home quarter here. Okay, we'll leave them be. No one likes to get watched while they work, so... Wait, you guys are watching us. Huh. That was no insult. I gotta do some mapping. So I've got the field. Again, I know it's, I don't even know if you can see. Boundary, 7 foot offset, record. And then since I'm driving the boundary, I might as well create a adaptive curve. Not sure if it'll get used much, but I have to drive the edge of the field regardless for the boundary, and I can make an adaptive curve at the same time. So, all edges. 23. Ain't gonna be 2023 for much longer. Record that. Boundary is recording. And we drive. Pretty exciting stuff. Oh, look at this. Oh my. Oh my. It's muddy. It's muddy. And there was ice in that puddle. Holy cow, that was close. Almost needed Doug. Oh, alright. I'm gonna focus and try not to get stuck. Well, I'm all done. Things got a little muddier. And that just really makes me nervous. But I got the flags out because I stick out past the trailer, right? That's law. This works great. Take the slack from your strap and just put it in the door. Oh, the mud. I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll back it off the trailer and clean up the mess.